Yay, we're here. Hello, everyone. Hey, to everybody who is into our stream today. Welcome to. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that, but there is a car deciding to show off on the road today. But it's okay. We're having a fun day today. It's a ladies' shindig. It's a get together for just the ladies of MobLand, who used to be Sim City. It feels so weird to say MobLand. I don't know about any
I agree.
have to get used to it, I think. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. But before I blabber on too much, I'm going to ask you ladies to please introduce yourselves. But before you do, whoever is watching, please remember to go through the main server. If you're not already a part of MobLand, be sure to join the server and find your syndicate. All the ladies here are from different syndicates, so maybe you might find your forever home, or maybe you might just want to lurk around as a loner. But without much further ado, could we please give introductions? I'm going to start with our household favorite, which is A. Could you please do the grand opening introduction today?
Well, thank you, Miss Purple, for having me back. So I represent the Double Tap Hitmen. I am a kingpin with the Hitmen, and we are pleased to have been, mobsters all along. We are a syndicate that are dedicated to actually quality over quantity, and that's us in a nutshell. Is that what you were after?
Yeah, it is. Actually, somebody just said you're the queen pin, not the kingpin. So kudos to you. um, if we can have the next lady, whoever wants to go. We just want to keep it, fluid and fun. It's not going to be as strict as with the guys. So I trust you ladies enough to just kind of go with the flow.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi everyone, I'm Chini and I'm from the Philippines. I'm a streamer from the Philippines. I'm actually new here in Mabland and it's my first time being in an event with these lovely girls with me. And please bear with me because I'm not that good in English and I'm so nervous but excited as well. Nice meeting you all.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. I have to say, you have a bit of a purple light behind you, so you're my absolute
Yeah.
favorite.
Obviously.
Next we're gonna go with Charlotte. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Am I audible?
You're audible, yeah. Your visual is just
Okay,
frozen.
okay.
That's it.
So,
Yeah.
by the way, hello, ladies. I am
Hi.
Charlotte, and I represent House of Dawn Perion, and I prefer to be called Miss Charlotte or Charlotte for short. And I possess the rank of Queen Pin in House of Dawn Perion, and I'm also the community events lead of Perion. That's it.
Okay. And then the lady in red.
Hi. Hi, ladies. I represent LATR, La Tavilla Rotunda. I'm Helloimcupcakes, and I'm one of the female chairs in the 9 chairs. Currently, right now, the only female chair in LATR. Yeah, I'm excited to be here today among you beautiful ladies.
I'm so excited to have everybody here. I obviously had already seen A before, but it's so cool to see so many other ladies in here. And I hope the gents are watching because I feel like, just us being here in itself is a whole revolution.
Mhm.
Obviously without getting too far as yet, I kind of I want to know how we all found Mobland, or as it was before, Sim City. How did we find the actual server and the community? How did we come across it, and then eventually how did we find our respective syndicates? So I'm going to start with Miss Charlotte.
Okay, okay. So I've found about Sin City, which is Mobland now, because of Perion's partnership with this game. And what really drew my interest in this community is the community itself. Because as someone that who actively engages with the community members, I can really say myself that
The members are so welcoming, they're so approachable that whenever there are members that ask questions, they are so willing to answer them all. And I think it's also safe to say that the syndicates in the server are diverse, and its members are um, the syndicates are composed with various backgrounds, right? But what makes this community interact in unison are their interests and beliefs in the potential of the game. And that in itself is quite interesting. So, yeah, I guess that's it. That's how I found MobLand.
Okay. And then what about you, Cupcakes?
All right, hi. So I found MobLand through Elio Trades, the crypto Twitter. And so what happened was he mentioned about then the Sin City project that he and Alex Becker were working on. And so I clicked the link to the Discord to join. And I'm so grateful because right after that, it actually crashed. And so a lot of people couldn't get in. And because I clicked the link and I've been active in the Mopland community, that I got the believer role within the first, I think they said like first 11,000 or so. So yeah, I managed to get in. And how I got into LATR was because we were in a subthread that was in this general chat. It was called, someone set it up. It's called Early AF. I think it was for all the people who are pretty early. So and then I saw my Simba, my co-chairman now in LATR. So at that time, I thought I would just be like a ninja, like I would just be alone when they started setting up these families and syndicates, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it alone, right? Because I was shopping around, and then one day I saw the way Simba had interacted with one of the people in LEAF, and he was sharing some of his thoughts, and I felt, hey, you know what, this is really interesting what he's saying. I think I want in. So I actually asked him like, that whatever you're building, could I join you? Like, can I can I come in to this so-called like family? And he said sure. And so they took me in. And then I'm no longer an orphan in Mobland. And so it's been a very exciting journey. Of course, I didn't start as a chair
Mm.
in LATR, and I sort of worked my way when I joined Simba. I was just an executive, but yeah. So I think that's what LATR represents: opportunities. And like I said, as the first female chair, I'm very grateful because it really sticks to the diversity that LATR believes and promises
Mhm.
in our syndicate.
I like that. That is in typical Cupcake style, very thoroughly put.
Thank you.
Um, I know we've heard about your story a bit, A, but if you could just remind us how you found Mobland and Double Tap Hitmen.
I'm exactly the same as Cupcake. 100%. Actually, Elio mentioned it in a show, and I jumped on it straight away. So I too got in the first 10,000 to be a believer. But literally, he said the words, and I just scoured the internet until I found because I think he might even said the spelling. So I looked it up and found it and went from there. And how did I come to be a kingpin? When I was looking at the various syndicates, the ethos of the Double Tap Hitmen just really resonated with me. And we really have built a good team. So I started off as a nobody and ground or grind, my way up. And it's, as you do when you're in there and you're just doing it. So yeah, I worked my way up the ranks and I became an assassin. And once I was an assassin, they gave me a special assassin's calling card, which we now give our assassins. And from an assassin, I became the left hand in our hierarchy. So, and from left hand, the other kingpins called me up and said, "Hey," and
What's that?
yeah, I actually had to disclose to them at that time. I was like, "Just so you know, I'm a chick," and because up until then, they didn't know,
Yeah, it was
because
fine.
it's just,
Damn.
you know, it's a thing, and
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that they were aware that I
Mhm.
was a woman and that that wasn't going to be a problem. And they're like, "No, that's way better." So they were all pretty hyped. Um, so yeah, no, it was really good. So that's like you. I started off as nobody and worked my
Mhm.
way up. And I think it says a lot when you find a crew that you thrive in. And we've taken our time and are filling our ranks in leadership thoughtfully with the right people, in hopes that we get the right people in the right positions and that we are a really cohesive team. We've really tried to make sure that we get the people that excel in certain areas in those areas.
Mhm.
So I can totally understand how you have gotten where you are, because I've done a very similar but different trajectory.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. I like the part about how you only disclose to them that you're a woman when you were getting promoted, because it means your promotion had nothing to do with them trying to be, equality or anything like that. They weren't trying to buy a face. They were genuinely impressed with who you were as a person, and that is phenomenal. And it's exciting to be reminded that that's what the space is about. It's about removing those, restrictions that people may put in front of them to say your location, your gender, your sexual preference, none of that matters here, right? It's just about you and your skill and what you can bring to the table. So that's amazing. I'm curious to say what Chini has to say about her experience in finding Mobland. I know you guys' crew was already a crew before you came to Mobland. So I'm also curious to know how that works. Did somebody suggest Sin City or Mobland and then you guys came through, or how does that work?
So I find MobLand through UniX and Sin City, and
Mhm.
in the Discord server I find it fun because the members are active, the members are friendly, and they are so approachable, like what Miss Charlotte says. I'm actually new to this Discord server, and I am not always in Discord because of my work. So I am looking forward for more opportunities in Mobland. So I'm so sorry that I cannot say anything.
Oh, it's okay. I think you've
Mm.
said a lot, because in that it means that Unix is always, it's not just, they take a group of people and then we just go. It's always,
Yeah.
it's fluid. They allow room for change and for
Yes.
adaptation. And yeah. Also, I have to say, I thought you said you have terrible English. I am not hearing it. I am not seeing it. So I think you're doing great. You're doing fantastically. I think just this space is a reminder that we're not all, first English speakers. English is not my first language either. I know it sounds like it is, but I promise you it's not. I've just spent so many years trying to learn the language that now it just kind of seems like it is. So this space is literally for everybody. And the intention with Mobland is for it to be as global as is possible. So
Mm.
kudos to everybody for being here. You guys are trailblazers, I think, by being here. So yeah. Quick fun question just to break the ice a bit more.
Mhm.
How many times have you been called sir?
Oh,
I mean, see, it's weird for me, I think, because my name literally says Miss Purple,
Mhm.
and somebody will say, "Nice to meet you, sir." I'm like, it literally says Miss in my profile. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes maybe a person didn't read, or maybe they thought they didn't want to assume, or whatever, so I can get it. But then I'll tell you that no, it's not sir, it's Miss. I mean, I don't mind most of the time, but I feel like for other people who do mind, I need to make people aware. And then they'll say, "Oh, okay, sorry," but then they still go on and call me sir. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if this is intentional, if everybody just thinks we're all men in this space, but we're not. So I hope this is full on visual. Also, I got new hair. What do you ladies think?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Very nice.
I want Taiwan's,
Very
yeah,
nice.
soon.
Thank you, thank you. I had to get in with the program and get some hair so I can flick it as well. It's been a while, but
Sing it.
as is as is usual in our Sin City slash Mobland Mass, I like to do a diversity count just to find out where everybody is from. I know Chini already said she's from the Philippines, but just for people who are new viewers and don't already know, we'll start with you, A, just to, repeat for the newbies where you are coming from right now and what time it is.
Uh, so I am currently in Australia.
Mhm.
It is now 10 o'clock at night. So I'm pleased that we're doing this at a reasonable hour for me for a change, as it happens to be for many of you. So that's great.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm coming to you from Australia, but I kind of tick two boxes in that I have a background from the States.
Mhm. And then what about you, Charlotte, Miss Charlotte?
It's from me. The same with Miss Chini. I'm actually from the Philippines, specifically in Cebu, and that's the middle part of the Philippines, where there are a lot of places to visit, especially if you're a nature lover. Like there's tons of pristine beaches and a lot of other famous tourist spots for you guys to visit whenever you come to Philippines.
Yeah, we
And
definitely need to do a ladies trip.
yeah, and unfortunately though, last December 16, 2021, we were hit by Typhoon Rai or Typhoon Odat
Mhm.
in its local name. But don't worry. Things are slowly picking up right now, and it's getting back to normal.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Good to
Mhm.
hear that there's at least, good progress. Which actually reminds me, just to send a shout out to everybody in Europe who has gotten hit by Storm Eunice. I hope everybody is,
Mhm.
nobody is being heavily injured. Whatever damage has occurred either to your possessions or your persons or anything like that, I hope it can be fixed promptly. And if there is any way that we can help, whether it's just sending shout outs or whatever, just let us know. My DMs are always open, and I'm sending lots of love to every single person. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Um sorry, I get weirdly emotional sometimes, but good to hear that Puss is safe. That's yeah, she was making my heart sore, but I'm good now. What about you? Hello, I'm Cupcakes. I'm sorry, I'm
um,
just so excited to see you. Like, I've been talking to you for a long time, and
yeah.
now that I'm seeing you, I'm reminded of all the times that people have upset you, and I'm like, why would you want to upset her? Like, what is wrong with you?
So just for um, so just for the ladies here, Miss Purple and I work closely together in LATR, because I also was a marketing director at LATR before I became chair. So Miss Purple, one of my favorite host
Oh,
in the marketing team. Yeah. So I'm really excited when she asked me to come on the show. So I said, okay, I'll do a face reveal then. Because this will be your first ladies mass. And so she was like, oh, okay. And I said, I'll try not to let you down. So so
yeah.
that's the inside, like why she said like she's been wanting to see me because I've been always using my profile pic that is our LETR logo. Yeah, so I'm from Singapore, so I'm really situated very closely to the Philippines where Miss Charlotte as well as Chini is situated. I think we're about a just a short flight, right? Just
Yes.
maybe like 2 3 hours, yeah. And I'm also very close to Australia, with a 6 hour flight. Yeah, so I'm very
You're
close
like
to all
right
these women. We
there.
could actually one day meet in real life somewhere, like for a vacation, like somewhere in the middle of all of us. Yeah.
Totally. I'm just the weird oddball that's like all the way over there. But it's we'll make a plan. We'll make a
You have to
plan.
take
Me
a
and my
longer trip. Yeah,
yeah,
longer
that
flight.
would be a longer trip, but I think it will definitely be worth it. Bring some of this Lesotho magic with me. So I think it would be totally worth it. So it would be fun. It's always nice to look forward to such things. Yeah. So last, I guess, kind of icebreaker type question. I'm curious to know if any of your relationships, be it with a partner or with friends or with family, any of them, have they been affected by your involvement in Sin City? Either be it because the name has the word Sin City and people just assume it has everything to do with illegal business, or just because you're always on Discord, especially us being here, we're probably the ladies that are really, really active, be it in this particular server or other servers as well, but I'm pretty sure in the Web3 space, we're probably very active. So we spend quite a bit of time on here. So I want to know if any of your relationships have been affected because of that, because unfortunately, people still expect women to kind of have all the free time to do all the house jobs, which is, it's confusing because it's 2022, but it's whatever. So yeah. How about we'll start with Mama Chinny. That's what your people seem to call you.
Yeah. So fortunately, MobLand slash Sin City doesn't affect my relationship with my partner, because my partner is actually a Valorant player here in the Philippines. So
Oh,
yeah, see, he is already have any ideas about like any NFT games that I am in, and here also in MobLand. So we don't have any problem with that.
okay. And then what about you, A?
Uh, yeah, there's been an
Yeah.
impact. So my partner works particularly hard. So his standard day is a 12 to 14-hour day, and trying to manage our business, and yeah, our family, and trying to keep up with Discord is definitely a challenge. But fortunately, you can do a lot of it from your phone now.
Mhm.
So whenever you're on the go, you can try and keep up and just let everybody know, hey, I'm in the middle of X, but I'm here, and just keep your finger on the pulse that way. So yeah, no, definitely my life has been impacted, and those around me are definitely aware that I got to level up. They're like, my alarm's going off. I just need a minute. And that happens. Like we had dinner guests just before we got on here. And as we were talking, my alarm went off and I said, excuse me, I just need to do something quickly. And then I had to explain why I was doing what I was doing to people that don't know anything about what is
Yeah.
happening. And they're like, that's right, you're a kingpin in a mafia thing in the internet. I'm like, yes, is the
I mean,
short
when you say
answer.
it like
Um,
that.
Yeah. Oh, but for them to see an alarm to go off that will prompt action that everybody else in the house just knows what it means. It's really interesting to have the visitors just be surprised. Whereas my
Mm.
family are like, yep, gotta level up.
And what about you, Cupcakes? It could be either with your family or friends or just, coworkers if we still have day jobs.
um, yeah, so yeah, I think I'm grateful because I don't think I actually suffered in terms of like being affected, like has it really impacted my relationships, like or with my family? I would say no because I think they understand what I'm doing and they're very supportive. So in that aspect, it hasn't quite impacted. But my friends, though, so some of them they don't quite understand like the whole crypto, NFT, Web3, and I believe a lot of our ladies here, you go through that as well. And so with my friends, and of course the global hours of, Mobland hours and events, and, being such a diversified community coming from so many places, I did probably have to push back a couple of appointments, lunch dates. Sometimes I cannot wake up. dinner dates with friends mostly. But I did tell them that this is something huge that I would like to focus my time and energy on. And because we've been friends since high school, yeah, so yeah, so they understand. Yeah. And for the rest of the people, I try to meet them like periodically. But in the past 8 weeks since MobLand started, or 8 plus weeks, I would think recreation um, recreation time was a little bit impacted with
Yeah.
people. Like, yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay.
We move,
It's
we
worth it.
can progress forward,
It's
so
worth
that's what matters.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
a bit of your insight, Miss Chinny. Sorry, Charlotte. Sorry, Miss Charlotte.
Okay, as for me, when I told my family that I handle a big position in a Web3 space, they don't really understand anything about it because, um, they are used to like work in a traditional space wherein you have to go to an office and start your
Mhm.
job. Um, with this kind of setup, it's not really usual for them. Like you can
Mm.
really see on their faces, the doubt on their faces, like how can you earn something in that space? Like how? But um, when I told them that I'm passionate about this, that I really want to do this, they're just supportive. They support my decisions that I make in my life, and they just give me a few reminders that whatever I choose, and in whatever I choose, they're just hoping for the best. And I think that in itself is interesting, and I'm glad to have that type of relationship outside the Web3 space.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear because for communities I think that don't yet understand, for me it's way worse. It's way worse. I was debating if I was going to say this, but um trying to explain Web3 to people here is difficult because we never even really fully got into Web2, you know? So it's like a whole issue where I have to go back from scratch and try to explain everything from the .com era, and they don't understand what that is. I'm talking gibberish. So I had to try to educate, and thankfully my mom is open enough to understand that I'm young and I'm going to get exposed to things that she may not have been exposed to. So she's comfortable with hearing me, but sometimes it does not make sense. It'll be the middle of the night and she's like, "Why are you awake?" I'm like, "Because I'm talking to people who live in the US." And she's like, I don't understand. But it's always great. It's always great to have some people who support you, even if it's one person, because here people don't even like, a website is not a thing that people have, right? So you can
Yes.
imagine me trying to explain crypto. Everybody just thinks I'm a scam artist at this point in
Yeah.
this country. So I've just made peace with it. Everybody thinks Miss Purple is a scam artist, and they know me as a radio host. So they think, oh no, she's just desperate to get out. So she's just gonna jump on the next big thing or whatever she thinks is. And I'm cool with that, to some extent, because I understand that I can't blame them. The people here have not been exposed in such a painful way that I cannot expect them to know as much about the space as I do. But it's great to have you ladies here because you make me feel like I'm in the right place. So I'm happy about that. I'm very, very happy about that. And shout out to Glenn for that comment. Said that we're all beautiful ladies. So I think that's a compliment for the day today.
You.
Thank you,
Thank
Glenn.
you.
Thank you.
So to get
But you
into,
are in the right place.
Hmm.
I am.
Absolutely.
I'm glad. I'm
Hmm.
I'm very glad. I mean,
Yeah.
for a long time it's been like, sometimes I wonder about it. Puss and I had a call, actually, I think it was last week, where she was like, something is off with you. And I really wasn't feeling like, I was in the right place, or am I doing enough? Is there more I can do to be more of a contributing member to both Mobland and to LATR? But she reminded me that it's not about It's not always about the time you can give, because reality is life happens, right? It's about what you can give and what you do give in the few moments that you have and when you're here. So knowing that I get to do this show with you ladies and on other days with all the other people from different syndicates, that makes me feel so useful, and feeling useful is one of my biggest things. I always want to know that I'm playing a part somehow, and if I can, create a platform for people to just kind of share and communicate and connect, that is phenomenal for me. So yeah, it's great to know that I'm in the right place for sure. Okay, so to get into the body of today's conversation, I want to talk about you as individuals. I know usually we just jump straight into, concepts about mobland and all of that, but I think we all know that the Web3 space is so lacking in female representation that any chance we get to be women in our full authentic selves, I say we should take it. And it's unfortunate that some people, will create fake women empowerment programs or projects or whatever just to gain some, what is it, publicity or whatever. But I'm hoping that every single person here has a bit of a passion in them about why they are in mobland. So I want to hear from you ladies, what have you decided to kind of take on as that passion mission, that thing that you really want to see come to pass in mobland and in all of web3, but obviously specifically in mobland and in your respective syndicate um as well. So yeah, we're gonna start with how about I start? Yeah, let me just start just to clear the way for now. So for me, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's about, I just want, I've come across so many rude people, people who are not open to accepting others and helping others along. And because for me, the journey was so complicated to even find out what crypto was, because nobody here speaks about it, I wanted to facilitate that. So I wanted to reach out to other people and show them that we are normal people. We're not all rich Silicon Valley gurus that have all this bank to just throw around. We are, girls and women and homemakers and businesswomen and entrepreneurs and whatever else we want to be. We're all of that stuff, right? But we can still also feel our presence here in our syndicates and in Web3. So for me, it's really just helping people come in and feel welcome and feel a warmth in the space and guide them in whatever journey they want to go on. And of course, I do that with my voice and all the fun creative stuff I do for marketing. So that's what I think I specifically bring. And I hold as my deepest passion for LATR. So yeah, now that that's out of the way, I'm curious to hear about cupcakes. So, what is your passion mission in LATR and in Mobland?
All right, just to add on a little bit to what you said, actually, Miss Purple is one of the highest contributing members in the marketing division. She also holds a communications coordinator role within LATR as well. So, and she's involved in a lot of other projects that are back end for LATR, which, she takes an interest in. So, I feel that when she says that, she wants to be more of a contributing member, the reason why I always ask her, like, will you be, taking on too much because you're gonna be like on 4 shows? I'm so worried that, it makes her so tired, you know.
No, I think
Um,
I think for me it's a passion thing. So the tired thing is not a thing here. I'll wake up at
Wonderful.
3 a.m. just to do mass. So
So now that she said that, I have like a list of things that I would love her expertise on. Yeah. So okay, that said, and so thank you, Miss Purple, for everything you do for LATF. And so that said, my passion would be to actually, because female representation globally, as you ladies know, whether in the workspace, in the corporate workplace, or even in Web3 particularly, it's very underrepresented. Even in politics. So in that sense, personally in my real life, what I do is I help a lot of single moms to sort of help them with that e-commerce journey so that they can actually, I would say, upskill themselves to sort of create an income for themselves as well. Now, how I got into Web3 was because I was actually working on a client project to see how they could accept cryptocurrency for commerce, right?
Hmm.
E-commerce. And so it was interesting because then I started to do research, like payment methods and things like that. And that's how I got into the Web3 space. And of course, when you get into the Web3 space, then you'll be introduced to the NFTs and things like that. So, in my study of the Web3 space, I noticed that it's really underrepresented in terms of the female voices, or even like the digital content creators, the musicians. And so, what I said in LATR before I became a chair was that I would like to help, of course, women in LATR, whether in content creation or whether in digital art. They could be artists because we've got some very talented artists, female artists in LATR that does amazing artwork. And with Web3 space, I would like to empower these women or help them, to earn an income for their creation in that sense. And like Miss Purple, she does so much great content every day. And so these are the women that I hope to inspire and help from my time in LETR. And of course, for MobLand, if there are other women, and they don't know where to go, because, they're like, wow, all the space is all men, right? Everyone's talking and they're all mostly men. And it's true because, like last year, all of the whole NFT sales globally, only 5% made up. The sales made up 5% was made up. Sorry, female artists made up 5% of NFT sales. So all of NFT sales, so 95%, were by males, and then only 5% of NFT creators were women. And so I'm really grateful to see that there are other women in the space like yourselves. And also, it's been starting to change a little bit. Like we see Eva Longoria, we see Paris Hilton. With these celebrities coming on board, it does give some female representation to the space itself. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Hold on. I just had to mute somebody. Our producer is in the background trying to say some things, and I'm like, no, not today. But it's okay. I think Zan is having too much fun. But yeah, thank you for that, cupcakes. I think
Yeah.
there's just so much potential in what people can do in the space, and how we can grow. So people like you are a reminder that it doesn't just have to be just passion. You don't have to just come in and say, okay, I'm gonna be broke for forever now. It's not about that. It's about if you can monetize your passion, great, fantastic. Why not, right? Because then you get to do something that you love and you can live off of it, and who knows, you can grow it into becoming something else. So kudos to you. You're definitely a trailblazer here. So
Thank you.
I'm curious about you, Miss Charlotte. What is your personal passion mission in House of Perion and in Mobland as well?
Actually, before I got into Mobland, I
Mhm.
already have positions in the different guilds. That was mainly guilds for Axie Infinity. So I was already involved in NFT games. So I was already here in the Web3 space even before. So as for my passion mission in our syndicate, the thing that fuels me to take on challenges and continue what I am doing is to accept the weaknesses and strengths of being who I am as a female. And for instance, females are not as risk takers as males, right? I mean, for myself,
That's
me myself, I'm not that risk takers compared to males, and that is a natural intuition of females not rush into decisions and prefer systematically doing things, just like how I do things in my job in Perion. And it is sure a slow process, sure but also sure higher percentage of success compared to making rush decisions. And as that being said, it is one of the key factors to achieve success, not only in Web3, but also in our real life endeavors. And that's why I have taken on the role of being an events coordinator of our guild, Period, as I see myself fit in making events beneficial for the community. And I think I also want the community to be happy of the things that we provide to them. And I think that's what really fuels me to do something that I love.
yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think it's also important to remind each other that every single thing we do makes a big difference, because there is somebody out there who needs what we have to give. So kudos to you for that. Um, Miss Chinny, can you tell us about your personal mission in Unix and in Mobland?
So, as a streamer before, when I started streaming, I am receiving actually a lot of bashing from male viewers because they are like saying, "You're only streaming. You are only using your body. You're um, you're just showing your body just to gain viewers." But that's not true because I love streaming, and I am streaming for 1 year now. I am earning because of streaming, and also with the help of Unix, I gained a lot of followers. I am streaming crypto and also FPS games, and in my first 5 months of streaming, male viewers are always bashing me, and after the stream, I'm going to cry. But then, uh, as time go by, I'm getting used to it. Like,
Hmm.
I'm just ignoring it, or I'm just uh, laughing because if you are going to notice them or like read their comments, they are just going to continue bashing you.
Mm,
So, uh, my passion right now is to earn money. Like, I am also a single woman. I already have 2 kids. So what I am thinking always before I go stream is that I'm not going to read any comments, any rude comments. I'm just going to focus on my good viewers. And now my passion in Unix is to help Unix earn more viewers, earn more followers, not just because of the giveaways, but I'm also promoting Unix on my stream and telling them that Unix family uh, is the only guild that I feel that I am a family. Actually, I already played with some of the bosses in Unix in Valorant, and you can feel that they are the boss because they are just so friendly. That's why in my guild before I left because you can feel that you're here and they are there. But in
mm,
Unix, it's just I can really feel that we are a family, we are friends,
yeah,
all of us.
yeah. Nobody makes you feel like you're any lesser than anybody else. So I
Yes,
like that. I like
actually.
that a lot. I feel like you and me need to have a conversation about the streaming business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I want to know about you, what is your passion as, I guess for younger people, the passions are different than a person who's older than what, 20, right? So I'm curious to know what your passions are about being in double X.
Well, first up, I feel like I should say to Chini, I don't know if you saw, we don't get to see very many of the comments, but someone did make a comment while you were speaking about people being negative, and they said that Unix loves you. And I wanted to make sure
Oh.
that you saw that because I know it's
Yeah.
hard when you're talking to read, or at least it
Yeah.
is for me. I can't read and talk at the same time. So do know that you were getting support while you were sharing that story. And so
There's a lot
FYI.
of it actually.
And
There's a ton of it.
so, yeah.
Oh my God.
But my
There, I'm
passion,
gonna cry.
Oh,
um, I believe in being honest and fair in my dealings. And I
Mm.
like to surround myself with people that are honest and fair in their dealings. And to do that, you have to be able to build rapport and relate to people. And I happen to have had a life that has put me in a lot of different positions. And I've been through the ringer a time or two, and nothing teaches it like the school of hard knocks. Nothing. So, from
It's true.
all of that, true story. As someone who managed to finagle her way into uni on a scholarship, I got plenty of brains and plenty of go. But I've been burnt enough by people that have got um, just hate in their heart.
Mm.
And I think all women have probably encountered this. Uh, Sadly, too many people, point blank. So the reality is that I look for good, earnest people, and I try and surround myself with those sorts of people. And
Mhm.
if I can cultivate a group of like-minded people that are wanting to move the ball forward, and I know you guys have heard me use that expression a time or two. So that's my passion and my motivation is to try and find a project that I think I can thrive in and then excel in that project. Give it my utmost effort and devotion almost to try and make a difference. And I think that's crucial in this space is to not necessarily um, go with a bunch of um, influencers or ideas or projects, but to pick a couple that you think are truly on to something good and to follow them through. Give it the time, the energy, and effort. Do your own research. And then find people that share your view, your passion, and your drive, and
Mhm.
that will help. So that's my motivation.
Yeah.
Not that you
No,
called me
that's
old or anything.
no. I said you're above 20. What? I'm above 20. What is that?
We're all 20.
Yeah, I think everybody here is above 20. I was just literally being ridiculous just to say, but
Oh,
yeah.
I was just giving you some grief, because I was like, oh, 20, that was a while ago. I
Same
have the
for
t-shirt.
me.
um, there's actually a question here before I move on to our next question. There's a question from Granny Bashan. I hope I said that right. The question is, can I ask how you feel about being a woman in the gaming community and involved in this project? So, I'm not sure if you've all been involved in gaming before this or in other games as well. So the question is essentially just being in gaming. What is that like for you as a woman, and of course being in Mobland? I know the game hasn't started, but I mean the concept of a mafia, like as a game, how does that compute in your head? So I think we're just gonna start with Miss Charlotte.
oh,
I'm
okay.
just going
As
eeny,
for
meeny,
me,
miny, mo here, by the way. Just forgive me. I'm just
it's
going all the
okay.
way.
It's It's okay, not a problem. So, even before I got into Discord, I actually played Call of Duty Warzone. So
Ooh.
that was when the pandemic hit Philippines, and I started playing the game, and there's a voice chat in the game, right? And whenever I speak, people just go, I don't know, go crazy because most of the players are men, right? And whenever they
Yeah.
hear my voice, they just I don't know, I don't want to say this, but being a girl and being a girl in this gaming community, I think it is special at some point
Mhm.
because you only get to meet a few female in this space, and at the same time, I think that being a female in this space is I think rewarding because when you meet good people, when you meet good friends, and um, you get to bump into people that will just go harass you or something, they will protect you at some point, especially if there are those really good friends that you were able to meet. And other than that, other than the my experience in the gaming community, um, having to work with men in this space, especially here on Discord, I can actually say that it's pretty great, and the experience is it's so good because as a woman myself and them being men, they don't really see me as different, and that they treat me as, you know, as one of the youngest. They always
Mm,
encourage me to do better, to excellent in something, to improve myself whenever I do mistakes. They don't really like degrade me or frown, look at me with disappointment or something because I am a female.
mm,
So I think I think that's it. I think
mm.
being a female in this space is actually a special for me.
Yeah. Um, what about you, Cupcakes? How do you feel about being in a gaming community as a woman and of course being in Mobland?
Well, I would think that some females in the gaming community have come a long way. Sniper
Mm,
Wolf, the YouTuber, I think she's a good representation of, you know, female voice as being one of the top searched YouTubers that has the power to influence the next generation. Yeah, because I'm only 20 years old. And what happens is, being in Mobland, like Miss Charlotte said, we are a small minority, and I think that's very special. Um,
yeah.
well, similarly in LATR, I do think that in LATR, everyone is treated equally, regardless of gender, and so everyone has equal opportunities. And I think being female um, doesn't necessarily give you advantage because we're all equal, you know. But in that sense, like when I move to talk to people that are in the Web3 space, well, of course, they sometimes um, look at us like we are a bit of an alien entity because of how rare we are. But
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Thankfully, I have not, well, I haven't, it was my experience in Mobland, I haven't been disrespected or trolled because of my gender.
Mm,
Um, so I'm grateful that we've got a great community here in Mobland, and of course at LATR, of course. So yeah, I would think that, like Miss Charla said, it's something very special. I feel more like a rare alien, but it's okay.
Rare aliens cost a lot of money. We're very
Aliens.
expensive. We're high quality, okay?
High quality aliens.
We're one of ones. Um, what about you, Mami Chini? What is your perspective on being a woman in the gaming community?
So fortunately, the guys that I am playing with, because most of the time I am playing with, like, for example in Valorant, we have to be 5 members so that we can play in a party.
Mhm.
So I am playing with 4 guys, and fortunately they are so good with me. Like, they are not going to feel that they are tilted if we are losing the game, and I am
Mhm.
feeling that I am the muse of the group because I am the only girl. And at the same time, they are teaching me how to play well because I am not really a gamer. Before
Mm,
pandemic, I am actually working in an online casino before in here in the Philippines. So I am a working single mom of 2, and game is nothing for me. But then when pandemic came, I started playing and earning, and like what I've said before, the first 5 months I am crying because I am crying after stream because of the bashers. But
yeah.
then also my when I play with my with those guys, they are telling me to just ban the bashers from my page and delete the comments. And
Yeah.
some of them also volunteered to become one of my moderators, so that if ever I while I'm playing and some rude comments are popping up, they are just going to
Mhm.
delete it so that I won't read it. And yeah, I'm so lucky because my those guys are always, like, cheering me up. And what you call this, they are not getting tired of playing with me because I am a girl. I am always saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so stupid, I don't know how to play this better. They're always saying that it's okay, let's just have fun. So yeah.
Yeah. It's great. I don't know who they are, but if they're listening into the stream right now, shout out to them. They are some solid folks, because
Yes.
it's weird, but there's still a lot of guys that feel iffy about losing to a girl. Like, I'm a human being. That's the beginning and the end. It should not matter how I pee. Whether I stand up or sit is not an issue here. Okay. If I'm good at the game, I'm good at the game. Like, just, deal with it. But there's still people
Yeah.
who have a hard time with that. So kudos to your homies for doing that. So yeah. What about you, A? I mean, we don't have to, if we've already responded to the question. You guys don't have to feel the need to divulge too much. But I'm very curious to know what it's like for you as a woman, especially in like double tap. It's hitmen, like it's in the word
Yeah.
hitmen, and yeah,
Um, you know what I like? One of the many things. But there was this guy being a bit of um, a
mm-hmm.
dude's dude the
Yeah,
other day, and one of my guys tagged me in it. So I then went there. I was like, "You're wrong," and this guy was like, "Pardon?" And I was like, "As a woman uh, and a kingpin, you are mistaken, sir." And they were like, "You're a chick?" And the guy was genuinely taken aback, because it's as if there's this bro conversation that can be
mm-hmm.
had. And I get that not every woman leads a life similar to mine,
Mm.
but I do most everything that a dude's dude would ever want to do. I do often.
Yeah,
And so for them to try and outdude me, good luck.
good luck.
Like, seriously. I and we've done this. When the first one of these, I thought, what's the most interesting thing in my office? I thought would be the question. And I genuinely have a gun scope up there,
Yeah,
some remote control cars, a broken power tool. But like I was looking around trying to think, I was like, gun scope. I'm definitely a hitman.
yeah,
Definitely.
without
Um,
question.
so it's those things. I think being able to turn it on its head and say, I appreciate that we're all here and we're all female, and that you
Mm.
ladies are beautiful and have taken the time, energy, and effort to look nice, and you've got great nails, but that's not me, right? Like, I'm the one that has to go and feed the cattle. I have to go and hook up the machinery and drive. I've got a pretty big license to handle some gear. So I am the woman that is, you know, in that other category, as are you. You guys are all doing very different things in very different worlds. So I definitely think it's an interesting thing to be a woman in Web3, because there is this connotation that if you're a woman, you are this or you are that.
Mm.
But we all have proven that we are all of those things
Everything. Yeah.
and more. Uh,
Mhm.
and I love that my guys, ring me in to put someone in their place. It secretly makes me very happy.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a bit of a complicated mission. I see your question, Glenn. I have seen it for a bit. I've just started. I'll get to it in a bit, because I want to give it as much attention as it deserves. So yeah, I'm curious about you, Cupcakes. I don't like for you, what is that like? I mean, you kind of come in and you have the ability to, dominate the crowd and everybody feels that okay, Cupcakes is here, I better not screw up. But how is that being welcomed, in the space? Not in a bad way, like in a totally good way. I think everybody
Mhm.
has this sense of respect for you. In the same way that thankfully I've noticed that people don't want to upset me because probably everybody thinks I'm a volatile emotional being, and that's fine. They can keep thinking that. I'm gonna let them. But deep down I know, don't screw with me. Don't play with me like that. But I'm curious to know what for you it's like being a woman in this space and the gaming space particularly.
Mm, okay. Well, about what you said, I don't think people come in trying to upset like any of us on purpose, right? Because sometimes they don't know what's behind the screen. Um, but of course, like I have encountered like people who try to troll me. Um,
Mm,
yeah. And then when I said, okay, let's take it like privately, like you and me, right? Come on, let's go. Let's do this, man. And then this individual, he's like, no, now you're playing the female card, and I don't want to take you on. And I'm like, no, I'm just telling you, like one on one, you and me
mm.
outside, right? Like,
Yeah,
let's leave
meet
all
me
these
outside. How
people,
about that?
like, yeah. So, like, innocent people, let's just leave them, and you and me go outside, right? And then he didn't want to take me on, right? So,
And
but how I lead is I hope to lead with female energy, which
mm,
I believe would bring a balance to a male dominated space. So I own that femininity, and I think it's seen in my profile pic when I first entered Mobland. I had a pink background and a pink cupcake. Well, of course, some people still thought I was like a guy, right? Just, so they didn't want to assume. So I'm cool with that, no problem. But in my mannerism, in the way I speak, and like for the people that know me, I try to lead from a very feminine
mm.
energy perspective, to just try to balance out. Yeah, to see if I could provide a different viewpoint or a different voice, just to accept everyone's opinions, and to listen, to what people from various walks of life, and we all make up this community. So that's how I've been doing it. Yeah.
I think it's so fantastic how we're all owning our femininity in like our own way, because
Mhm.
that balance is important. And
Mhm.
a lot of people would think, yeah, I have to man up and be one of the bros so that you can, advance in this space. But we're literally, like how A was saying, we are being our best selves in our best ways and how we know how to do it. So we're not trying to be like the other person. I'm not trying to be like A or Cupcakes or Charlotte or Chinny. I'm trying to be Miss Purple, and that's that on that, right? So it's really, really exciting to see other women like that because I don't get to interact with a lot of women. Because on a whim, like if I'm in Gen Chat, because I know A and Cupcakes are women, when I see them on, I'm like, there we go, because I know them, right? But there are other women in there that I may not recognize just from their names that they're women. And I just always sit there and I wonder how they're feeling, how they're going about navigating the space, and if anybody ever feels like a pressure to be something that they may not be. And that actually brings me to Glenn's question, and his question is, how can you be, well, I guess it's a bit of a question and a compliment. It's how to be as powerful as us ladies. And I think it's essentially just about the ability we have to be women fully, how we see women as, because different women interpret their femininity in a different way. So how do you channel that um confidence and that ability? And of course, give a bit of advice or whatever for the ladies who may feel that they're not strong enough to stand up and proudly say, I am a woman, even if my name may not seem like it. that's not what it's about. I am a woman and I am in this space and I exist. So how do you channel that? Like, um, before you respond, I just want to give, like, for me, I always say it's like a double whammy. I'm trying to do two things always, because in as much as I want my femininity to go in front of me, I also want people to remember that, y'all, I'm black too. Like, people just always assume, yeah, everybody's from like America or Australia. Yeah. Dude, okay, I'm here, okay? I come from an entire continent of blackity black people, okay? And I'm here. I'm in the gaming space. And yes, I'm a woman too. So it's like a double whammy. For people, it's like a shocker. Oh, you black and you're a woman? That's very strange. So they probably think I'm like a masculine looking type of girl, and it's whatever. I'm cool with whatever they think. But for me, I'm always trying to, say, I just want to be my best self for me, and I want to represent this the group of people who may recognize me in themselves as much as I can. If another young black girl can see me and go, hey, I can do that too, then I've done my job, and my encouragement, I think, for other women who are struggling with that is to just do it for you, do it for a younger version of you. What would you want to see? What kind of woman or what kind of person would you want represented? Even if you look up to a person who is male, that's totally okay. But you as an individual, how would you want your younger self to see you and perceive you and be that, thrive in that and be the absolute best you can in that? It sounds very wishy-washy, I know, but just be your best, man. Like, everybody here is so different. I promise you, you're probably better than you think. I've learned that the hard way. so, so yeah. What is your advice, Mami Chini? I want to hear about you and what you would say to other women who are struggling with, channeling that confidence that you have and seem to, exude.
Actually, all of us has our own insecurities about other girls, and
Mhm.
we have to know and think that there are other pretty girls out there that is really prettier than you, but but we have our no we have our different beauties, not just outside but also inside. And I admit that I have insecurities until now, and I am struggling sometimes. I am looking for girls. Oh, she's beautiful. She plays so good. Why am I like this, like that? But then every night I'm just crying myself. I'm just crying it out so that I want to feel lighter because my heart feels so heavy sometimes every
Yeah.
time I feel insecure because um actually I got cheated before. That is why I am insecure until now, maybe a little, but then I am working it out, and I am more focused on my career, which is streaming right now. And I'm so happy that my viewers are always supporting me. And to the girls out there who's struggling with insecurities, always remember that we have our own kind of beauty and in our own different way.
Mhm.
And um my worst um uh attitude before is I am looking at this girl and uh envying her. I'm jealous of her. Now what I am doing is uh I am looking that girl as an inspiration for me to be better, for me a better better person, and to be the best version of myself. Before I am looking at that girl as because I'm insecure, but now I am happy because I am improving and I am seeing them as an inspiration. That's all.
I like that. I
Mhm.
like that. Thank you. Thank you. What about you, Miss Charlotte? What would you give some, few words of encouragement to help out other girls who may struggle with exuding the kind of power that you exude in the space of so many men?
As for me, maybe the words that I can give out to the other ladies out there is to just be yourself. Don't pretend as someone you're not. Because if you keep on doing that, the things will be like you're like struggling yourself forever. because you, by pretending as someone you are not, it's just like putting yourself in a prison, and which you know that you can just break yourself free from, because by being yourself in this space, there's actually no problem with that. I mean, being a woman, it's empowering.
Yeah.
Use that asset to empower other women in this space. Don't um don't cover it up. Don't cover it up. Stay as you are, and don't ever feel that, even with the minority of female in this space, it's never a hindrance in achieving great things, because
Hmm.
it's a new era. Okay, it's women are slowly accepted in this space, and I do believe that um, that alone is something that we can use and something that we can pursue to be excellent in this space. Like for example, you know, I've used my voice to do hosting, to just be myself. I'm not making myself very forceful in front of other people, just being me. And I've I've observed from there that people just love being you. And yeah, there's actually no problem with being us. Okay, so being a woman, use it as a power, use it to empower other women.
I like that.
That's it.
I like that. Thank you for that. You were, right on it, because nobody can ever do you better than you can do you. So yeah, do you fully and all the way. So I like that. It's a nice word of advice. Um, I'm gonna any mini miny mo. I'll go with A.
Um, well, I think women traditionally we work smarter, not harder, um, because that's what we've got. And
Hmm.
if you need me to move a mountain, I'll do it just differently than how you might expect.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that we inherently bring is because we have been forced our whole lives to come at solutions via a different means. That is a resource that we just have ingrained in us, as opposed to seeing the solution as this way or that way. We can see a whole other myriad of different solutions. So I think that's the one of the key things of being a woman is that you have to um, find creative solutions to problems. And if we can all do that, just the world would be so different, as opposed to just having one answer for all. Because how you achieve your goal will not be the way in which I achieve mine. And that's
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
So
I
I
like that.
think that's it.
Cupcakes.
Well, if I have a message to women out there that is watching this stream, first I would tell you that who you are now, it's not who you will be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We are always evolving with every step of the way. And if you're like me and you're 20 years old, what I can tell you is that every day before you go to sleep, um, write down three things that you are grateful for um, in your life, whether it's the family that you have, or the job that you have, or even the very fact that, we are alive and we're connected to, like, right now, everyone from all over the world. Just being able to sit here and be alive, is a gift. So every day, write down three things that you are grateful for. And then that cultivates that sense of gratitude for
Hmm.
life itself. And then you will grow the confidence to embrace the difficulties and the challenges that will come your way whether you're a woman or whether you're a man or in between, we first have to start with the self awareness of who we are, reaching that alignment, and then to accept and love ourselves. Only then, only then we will start to attract the right people and the right circumstances and opportunities that will come our way. So I, of course, did not like when I was really 20, I wasn't the person that I am today. So that comes with age and experience. And of course, with each new experience, I try to find a learning point from that.
Yeah.
And somehow, over time, I have followed my intuition and it has led me here among all you beautiful women today. So I hope that whoever's watching this, you know, will get that takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful. I need to bottle that and keep it and play, press play every time I feel like my life is, but I definitely think that's a tactic that I should adopt more. I used to do it, but I let the ball drop a bit in my gratitude, acceptance, and just being aware of what I have and what I'm grateful for. So that's
Mhm.
definitely a thing to kind of take on. See, now I feel like I've been gurued. I feel like I found my center. So thank you so much for that. Now a question for all of us again is, why are there so many, or rather, why are there so little women in the Web3 space? Um, Anybody can start, really. Just what your opinion is.
That's
Wow,
easy.
those dogs are
You
having a
know,
hard
uh,
time, hey?
well, the reason why there's so few women is, as mentioned earlier, we by nature avoid risk, and this is a very risky area to be in. And so, because of those two things, you can go ahead and do the math that every woman here is more likely to take some risks that other women may have a natural aversion to. So
Mm,
that's why. And it's such a small minority of the world that are looking in the crypto and or gaming space. So to be a minority within a minority, it makes perfect sense. So I think it's a simple matter of math,
mm,
and as we get broader adoption, we're going to have more people in this space, and when we have more people, we'll have more women. It's just going to be a 1-2 punch as far
yeah,
as I'm concerned. But a subset to all of that is because there's the trailblazers in this space, it's inherent that they're more open and accepting in many regards, which means that as we're crafting the world of tomorrow, we've got thoughtful, open minded, accepting people
yeah,
doing that. And that is more important than who we have here now. It's
yeah,
that mindset, that openness, and that inherent ability to embrace us all and our multitudes of lifestyles and circumstances. I think that's the biggest thing here. And don't get me wrong, having a minority of anything, you need to make sure that they're not relegated. But I really am excited for the future that this brings for us all.
mm. Are there any other comments on that? On why there's so few women in the space? Or are we just concluding that, what, it doesn't matter how many of us there are, even just one woman there is a woman in there and she's going to put forward her abilities and her skills as a woman, her intuition and that, care that most women seem to have. So I mean, I guess it's both pro and con, like how Bowden was saying that it's just about what you make of the few women that are in there, right? So even if we had 20,000 women in crypto at any given moment, if they were not there with intent and understanding, it doesn't do us any good, right? So it's always best to have that a person who is intentional and has taken the time to learn and study and is always open to relearning and unlearning things. So it's, yeah, numbers may be important in some cases, but it's not always a numbers game. So yeah. Okay, so we are coming towards the end of today's conversation. But before we fully close off, I have some opinions that I would like to hear from you ladies. The first one is about Mobland specifically, the representation of women in the actual gaming community or all of Mobland community. Do you feel that it's already geared towards catering not just for women or men, but also, for other genders as well? But of course, because we're women, you can speak to, as a woman, if you feel that representation represents you, can you look at the visuals and the audio and all the language and the text and all of that stuff that's used in Mobland and say, I can see myself, or they're speaking to me? Or do you feel like there's a bit more work that needs to be done in order to represent women or appeal to women? Anybody can go. We can start with Ginny just for control purposes.
Um, I'm actually, as I've said before, I am not
Yeah.
that active in Discord.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, of
then
course.
upon meeting
So
you,
much to see.
upon meeting you here today, I think I wanted to be active in Mobland already. Since I'm so sorry because I have a lot of work to do here. I'm editing my videos and I am looking forward to working in Mobland.
Mm,
And uh, I think gender equality is the most is a big issue in gaming community. I think us people and maybe some other people also have to have to remove that kind of mindset because men and women are equal, and I guess um uh if men and women are going to like uh what you call this um
work together.
uh yeah, put
Coexist.
together, we are going to become successful, and our Discord to become uh better and the best. Sorry,
Mm.
something like that. I'm sorry.
What do you think about the visual representation and I guess not just visual, but also language and all of that stuff that Mobland uses to cater to women? Speaking to you, Cupcakes.
All right. Well, right now, I think with the rebranding, that's brilliant. I've seen their images for the trailer for the website previously. I think they do cater to women. If you look carefully at each of the Mobland um little syndicates that are within the Mobland game, right? They all have a female within the four in the images over there. So all the different types of clothes that they wear and different styles. Some got like long pink hair, and then it's got different types of women um, within that visual image. And also with the as also with the Mobland ambassadors, they have picked women as well. I'm sure, not just Miss Purple and that are within the Moblem ambassadors, but other women like Miss Tutu from Cosa Nostra, and there are other women out there that are like Puss from LATR, so they are representing Moblem as ambassadors. So I think there is equal opportunity in terms of voice, to give females a voice in
Yeah.
Mobland. Yeah, so in terms of the visual, in terms of the selection of ambassadors, I would think, yeah, it has so far been very gender equal, even through all their Twitter, all their messaging on their website. They always have, a mixture of different types of people or characters that are there. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, A? What have you seen so far about that representation?
Um, I I think that I can the mafia mindset appeals to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the art that they're choosing appeals to me. I am
Mm-hmm.
pleased that the female forms that they have chosen are not overly sexualized, because
Yeah.
that is a pet peeve of mine.
Mm-hmm.
That we always have these hourglass figures, in particular, just and not all women look like that. Good on
Yeah.
you if you do. Um,
We don't all look like that.
we don't all look like that. And so I do think it's important that we, in the visuals, as well as through our representation in the ambassadors, and through our messaging, we are inclusive. But I think it's really important that we don't put people in a box. And
Mm,
they've been very good about this. So,
yes.
yes, I do think from the aesthetics, yes. The only thing that I don't really see myself in, and it's just a thing, and I realize it's really popular globally, is the types of music that tend to be played. I'm much more of a darker rock, like folk,
Yeah.
any of that. That's more my jam.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that people are really into R&B and rap and all of that. So I'll go with whatever it is. But as far as the female aspect, um, I think they do well in the
Yeah.
aesthetics. Absolutely.
I like that. Um, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself, Miss Charlotte, just to,
Yeah.
oh, there we yeah.
Apologies for that because our neighbor's dogs got noisy a while ago.
Oh,
I have to
okay.
mute myself. So as for that one, seeing the aesthetics of Sin City, I agree with Miss A and Miss Cupcakes and Miss Jeannie as well. They have represented the female well in their aesthetics, and I'd also like to speak in the Web3 wide perspective because as we are now in the Web3 space, we can really see that it's about decentralization and openness. Yeah, and
Mhm.
we women should play and have fun in this space, and not really thinking about the um, what do you call this, violence and all of this stuff that can possibly harm us women, and. And as time goes by as well, there are a lot of women-led projects in NFTs and games which have been accepted and supported well by both women and men. And I see this as a good start that more men are now accepting us women in the gaming and NFT space. But of course, we can't really avoid trolls and you know,
Yeah.
I just don't want to say the word. But that's where these types of games where the safeguard there should be a safeguard for everyone to enjoy, and um, that's where the moderators and the other staffs come in to like police those that are
Mhm.
violating the rules in the community. But
Yeah.
as I know, as days goes by as well, mostly in the communities that I've seen, whenever they see this kind of rudeness in the community members itself police those rude people,
Yeah.
and it really makes me happy that more and more people are starting to enjoy the space and are starting to accept women in the metaverse. And yeah, overall I'm just glad to be accepted in this space even if
Yeah.
I am a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that does bring us to today's episode, which was the females ladies edition for our weekly mass. But I would just like to, add my bit of input. If Meta Mafia is watching, I see you. I saw that there's an image of a woman with a mini afro on the
Mm-hmm.
stage, right? And I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, she literally looked like me. I was so happy. I know it was ridiculous and it was like a small little thing, it was just there, but I felt like, okay, I see it. They've definitely paid attention to the type of people they've had. And I appreciate the fact that even though it may start a certain way, they learn to adapt because they probably didn't expect to have so many vocal women in the space. And it's just fact, right? And as they get more and more women, they've learned to adapt in that and just kind of add more visuals or change the language a bit more. So I saw that and I was literally like, wait a minute, that's actually me. So it felt really, really good. But also just for you ladies and for any other lady that's watching, either watching this live or watching this after, heck, even men, just humans in general, we don't have to, we shouldn't have to feel the need to be activists all the time. You being yourself is sometimes more than enough. We don't always have to go out there and try to, you know talk about empowerment and all of that. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, it's unfortunate that sometimes we have to do that, but it shouldn't be that way. We should all be able to be human beings in our best ways, and that should be more than enough. But I say, if there is an opportunity for us to be the voice for somebody else who doesn't have the voice, then we can do that. But we should never, ever feel the need to have this burden on our shoulders to be a hero for somebody else. You need to be there for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So you need to be there for yourself and be present for yourself and be the best you can be for yourself. So thank you again so much for watching, and for every single person who's tuned in today. I think we have had a lot more people than we've ever had in our live stream. So I guess us being women is a fun thing for people to come see. I think people did not expect us to be this awesome. So this is fantastic. I really, really hope we get to do this again. We might do this more on a regular basis in my capacity, mostly as Miss Purple. But I'm really, really excited, that, and I'm grateful for being allowed this platform to speak to you ladies and hopefully impart some knowledge to everybody who was watching today, and all the men and all the guys and all the queers and everybody else who's shown us love today and any other day, both in Mobland and just, in our regular lives. Kudos to you, because you're just being a normal human being. You're being a good human, and that's a great thing. Okay, you waking up and being a good human is fantastic. So thank you again, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Miss Purple.
Thank you, Miss Purple.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, that's that on that.